wondered where I am now. Where I am now, I'm in a special place. I'm telling you where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live at WGPL 1350 Studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page or Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in WGPL 1350 Studio. And if you want to hear us all over the globe, all you have to do is go to www.christianbroadcastingcompany.com, or you can go to WPCE 1400 AM or WGPL 1350 AM, and guess what? You can hear us all over the globe. And now I'd like to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace, 95.3 FM and WPCE 1400 AM.
I tell you what, Facebook Live is on and popping as usual. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Do all of that.
And get a shout out.
We're going to do it. We're going to shout you out later on in the show. Mr. E, it's a beautiful day. And of course, I'm sure you had a beautiful weekend.
Oh, yeah. It was a great weekend. The sun was shining and didn't do too much work. Had a wonderful service on Sunday. So, hey, it was a BALL.
I tell you what.
How was yours?
Mine was fantastic. A little fun, little work, a little rest, good food, all of that.
That sounds wonderful.
I tell you what, Mr. E, we have a very special guest because today is our Monday Sports Talk. I tell you what, I look forward to this. I can't wait to talk about somebody. But in the meantime, let's introduce our special guest. We have Mr. Roland Fuller. He's from Dallas, Texas. And of course, he's a Dallas Cowboy fan. Good morning, Roland.
Good morning. How are y'all doing this morning?
Fine, and you? Roland, we're going to address the elephant in the room in a minute. But we want to ask you about your beginnings, where you're from again, a little bit about yourself growing up and your love for sports.
Well, I am originally from Ardmore, Oklahoma. A small town with about 30,000, the southern part of Oklahoma. Graduated from Ardmore High School in 1983. Graduated from Murray State College in 1985. There, went to the military for 16 years of my life. After that, got out and headed down here to the Dallas-Fort Worth area where I've been getting my career at Dallas area rapid transit. Been here ever since.
Wow. Your love for football or for sports, when did that happen?
That happened in high school. I played all sports in high school.
Wow.
Being from a small town. That's the way you make up your time. You play sports.
Absolutely. Now, Roland, I want to know why, just because you're from Dallas, you got to be a Dallas Cowboy fan. What's that all about?
Everyone in Dallas is a Dallas Cowboy fan. Everyone in Dallas is a Dallas Cowboy fan. We look for those Sundays. every year we're looking for those fall Sundays to cheer on our Cowboys.
So you tell me
Growing
you
up,
growing up you all were all into the Cowboys.
we're all into the Cowboys. That's all we had to watch. That was the only team around that broadcast in our area, the Dallas Cowboys. Or you grew up cheering the Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. E, go ahead.
Wait a minute. According to your brother, which is Dion, he said that how did he become a I got to get him, how he become a San Francisco 49er fan.
Oh, wait a minute. The brother, y'all got two things going on at one time. The 49ers. Wait a minute. Let me reclaim my statement. So it's not necessarily true that if you're from Dallas, you're a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Not necessarily. Partly true. Partly true.
Okay.
I believe when he was little, he tripped and fell, and that might have been it.
He bumped his head. Woo! Some people. Well, I tell you what, we're going to talk about Dallas Cowboys in a minute, but Mr. E, the NFL season has begun.
That's right. The season has begun. My God, what was some football we had on yesterday. I turned to the left, turned to the right. I saw the Chargers playing. I saw the San Francisco 49ers out there playing. I saw some of every team in the NFL, and my God, and I can bet you that every foot TV was posted to one channel.
Woo! The Bears were playing. The Steelers were playing. You name it. Washington was playing. Everybody was playing. Roland, tell us what you think about the new season and how did you feel about Sunday football?
Well, everything got off to a pretty good start. We had some very exciting games. We had a couple of overtime games that went down to the wire. Field goals decided by. It was a very good start. Very good start in football season.
Do you think everybody is ready for some football, not baseball, not basketball, or any of those things? You think that everybody is glued to the TV?
Yes, sir. Everybody was glued to the TV yesterday. You can sure that.
Absolutely. Now let's address the elephant in the room. You all had a very interesting game. Dallas. Them boys were out there last night against, who was it, Mr. E?
They was out there playing against Tampa Bay. I mean, TB, Tom Brady. So, it wasn't Tampa Bay. It was TB.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna let y'all loose. Roland and Mr. E, since both of you all are Dallas fans, let's talk about that game. Go ahead.
Mr. Roland, last night when I began to look at the Cowboys, and you right down the street from the stadium, tell our listening audience, what do you think about the game last night?
Well, it wasn't too good a game.
Uh-oh.
Not for the Cowboys fans. It wasn't a good game. Let's be honest. We look horrible.
Yeah.
What was the problem?
I can't put my finger on it, but I believe Tampa Bay has an excellent defense. The quarterback wasn't ready. We'll talk about him later. The whole team just wasn't ready at all. They weren't prepared for this game.
Roland, when we begin to talk about anything that we saw at the game last night, there's a lot of listeners out there saying we're making excuses for the Cowboy. So because they didn't, we know and I know that their performance stink last night, and that Dak wasn't ready. We know that the offense wasn't ready. We know that the defense got ran over last night. We saw Tampa Bay just really almost pick the Cowboys apart. But it was surprising to me that the score was only 19. It was just a field goal day yesterday. Absolutely. Between Tampa Bay and the Dallas Cowboys. So like I know, it stunk.
It really stunk. We just didn't have to.
So I want all our listening, our fans, our folks that that really ready to chop our heads off to know that we are in agreement that the Dallas Cowboys smell like uh,
God.
stable.
Well, let me ask you all a question. I got the impression that you all didn't have any stars out there. Now, Dak, okay, but Dak had a nerve to get injured and is not going to be back for about what, 8 weeks? That's tired. So, to me, looking at the game, first of all, the energy wasn't there because I compared it to some of the other games, but it was just not a game. The Cowboys did not
They
play
didn't come to play.
like we know they can play. To me, they don't have any stars. Nobody stood out,
That's
really.
right.
Why is that?
That goes back to coaching. Uh, when you're coaching, you have to have your team prepared for whatever situation. This is a big game. You played these guys last year. Everybody was on the same playing level field. So there's no excuses. You just come ready and prepared to play last night.
Yes. Let's talk about Tom Brady, though. When he first started out, it wasn't that good. He wasn't doing all that good. I mean, he was throwing, but he was throwing them. To me, he was messy, and he knew it. But he did redeem himself. What do you think about the opposing team and Tom Brady?
Uh, well, he's 45 years old. He's been there, done that. He's returned. So he has an objective. He has his objective is championship. So he doesn't want to go out any other way. So he had a decent performance, but it was enough to help him win the game. Defense helped him. So that's why it's a team sport.
Yeah, and you're right. You know that it's a team sport. The defense played last night. After Tom Brady, and speaking about Tom Brady, after Tom Brady ate that dust and ate that dirt and hit that ground several times, Tom looked like he was ready to pick the ball up and go home.
That's what I felt. That's what I felt.
I looked at he got a little fratful, and that's why it was such a low scoring game. I believe that 19-3, Tom Brady and the Dallas Cowboys, 19-3, when Tom Brady would have ran the score up like KC did. When Kansas City Chiefs went out there to play, they ran the score up to 44 on yesterday's game. Now, do you really, really think that Pollard and Ezekiel are going to be a dynasty in the backfield?
No, not now. Now that that division, they're just going to kill on most of the side. So we're going to be hurt all around. So this year, you may talk to something one of those years where failure will come among us. So this is not going to be a very good year.
Not for the Cowboys. Is that what you're saying?
Not for the Cowboys. Not for the Cowboys.
Mr. E?
In the sweepstakes.
Uh-huh.
We may get in sweepstakes for Mr. Bryce Young down in Alabama or Mr. P.J. Stroud up at Ohio State.
I believe it's going to turn around because the predictions of that game was everybody was saying that Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we got supposed to have 4 strong games out here that's going to really supposed to terrorize the Cowboys. That's Tampa Bay was number 1 for years. Folks been saying because they won the Super Bowl last year that everybody in Tampa Bay, that Tampa Bay gonna be a threat to us. Well, Tampa Bay came out and they wasn't all that bad. It's just that the Cowboys was not prepared to play. We don't have no starters. We don't have no wide receivers. We don't have no tight ends. We just using what we have that we kept on board for the last 2 years. So they are not ready. The Cowboys not ready. Then Dak hit his hand on the helmet of another player. I believe that Dak ain't not gonna be gone that long of a time. I believe it's just that you know how they do, Roland. They take the starters out and they let the second string come in because they look horrible.
Oh wow!
Right, that's correct. But Dak will be out. They take 6 to 8 weeks. But we're looking at time frame. We're looking at probably November.
Yeah.
early November. So by that time, after the bye week, if we hadn't won 3, 5 games, it's not gonna look too good. He's gonna come back rusty. He was rusty last night.
Yeah, he was real rusty.
He was rusty.
They didn't play in the preseason. They did not. The line didn't play in the preseason. All of them did was set back, relax, and you can tell it on last night.
Absolutely. Now look, you all. Let's talk about some of the other games. Let's see. I'm curious about the Steelers. They did quite well.
Just before we get to the Steelers, Miss Hinton, there's a friend of mine by the name of Cedric Bailey, a turncoat.
Oh,
did you see them last night? Roland, did you see his team last night? The Chargers beat them 24-19.
What? That's right.
You know, and then let's drop down to your brother's team because y'all are fearsome 3. The only team that won something was Don because he's a Philadelphia Eagle fan. I got to give it to him. Oh, wow. But when I looked at Cedric Bailey's team, the Chargers won 24-19, and the San Francisco 49ers lost to the Chicago Bears. I was fit to be tired.
Did you see that game though? They were sliding and having a good time in that water. That was a messy game, but it was a good game.
That's right. It was a wonderful game. Now let's go to the regular other scores, Mr. Rowland. What do you think about 44-21, the Kansas City over the Arizona Cardinals?
You know, during the offseason, everyone was talking about Patrick Mahomes, the Tyreek Hill. He made a big difference. When they lose him, they're just going to be another team. But I do believe that he had his mindset that, you know what? I don't need Tyreek Hill. I've got other players to depend on. And yesterday, it showed. It showed yesterday. So he's not a one-trick pony. He can do it with anybody. So the fault was proven. And I believe that was the message that was sent yesterday.
That's right. That's right. I believe in that. Well, your brother just shouted out. Your brother.
What did he say, Mr.
Your brother just shouted out. He said, "At least we scored."
But look, Mr. I want to talk about the Steelers because, and the reason why I want to bring them up because that game they played, the energy was there. And like I was saying, you know, I looked at the Cowboys and I looked at some of the other games, but to me, the energy in that particular game. Tell us the score of the game. The Steelers won their game against.
Steelers. They played against the New England Patriots. What do you say, Dr. Rowland? You said what the score was?
It was 23-20.
Listen, they won by 3 points.
I know, it was a great game. The energy was definitely there.
You know, they had to step up because they didn't have left and right up there. They didn't have Bigfoot up there. You know, Bigfoot retired on them. Hey, Roland. Bigfoot retired on them, so they really had to come out the box. That new quarterback they had to really show up. Well, he did a wonderful job.
He did a good job. And we have to understand that Mike Tomlin, in his 15, 16 years, he hasn't had a losing season. So the man obviously knows what he's doing. He knows how to coach.
Absolutely.
And that showed yesterday.
Yes. Make sure your devices are muted. We're getting feedback here. But yes, Mr. E, go ahead. Give us some more tea. Who else
let's
played?
talk about the coach and the Tennessee Titans, Texas. Let's talk about the Texans. The score was 20-20.
What?
Overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. That was excellent game. No one figured the Houston Texans were going to be any good. They're in rebuilding mode. But they proved yesterday that the favorites that came in there, Indianapolis Colts, they're favored to win the division.
Yeah.
Got a new quarterback. They got aspirations for winning the Super Bowl. So they really played real scrappy and crossed to the end with them.
Do you think that the Rams miss Odell?
Oh.
Or do he need to stay on the sideline?
I believe they missed. They believe in this. He's trying to go if you want to, if he's listening. But they really did miss him. Allen Robinson, I don't think that he has that connection with Matthew Stafford yet. That's going to take some time. Probably give us the next 3 to 4 games. Maybe they'll have to look next.
Well, you know the
Maybe better off.
Well, you know the Browns won yesterday.
Yeah,
All of those
yes.
scores was low scoring
Yeah.
scores by 1 and 2 and 3 points. You know that the Browns they beat the Carolina Panthers. What do you think about that game?
That was an excellent game. Baker Mayfield, he's on that revenge factor in Cleveland Browns, but I think Cleveland was determined to not let that happen. They heard all the noise. Baker's coming back. He shouldn't have let him go. They didn't want him here. So they heard the clapback.
Is that true, T?
So,
Is that true, T? Is he really coming back? Roland?
Roland, he's not coming back.
Oh.
You know, here's the thing that I saw yesterday, Roland. The Commanders won against the Jaguars. What do you think about that team called the Commanders? You know, they don't have they've been practicing in the high school backyard. They don't have no home team yet, and they're in our division. They won and beat the Jaguars. What do you think about the Commanders?
The Commanders are Jekyll and Hyde. So
Oh.
you don't know what you're going to get.
All
You don't know what
right.
you're going to get week in and week out. So they were playing a young Jacksonville Jaguars team. Jacksonville fought tooth and nail. They weren't supposed to win that game anyway, but they still have won the game. But you don't know what you're going to get with the Commanders. I'm going to let up off the gas there.
Yes.
So, Commanders are Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh man. Listen, E, I wanted to mention the Patriots and the Dolphins. And the reason I wanted to mention them, my grandson, who is 8 years old, said he had a feeling about the Dolphins, not just last night, but across the board. He feel like they're gonna have a good season. The game was the Dolphins 20-7, the Patriots 7. What do you think about that game?
Well, when I look at the Miami Dolphins, I said to myself, the porpoises had to jump out the water. And then since we going into voting time, the Patriots, you know, they're all Republicans anyway, so they that's the reason why they're lost, because they're Republicans, and you know the Queen died, and so everybody beating the drum. So that's the reason why New England Patriots. But here's the thing that you got to watch out for, and that's the Buffalo Bills. What do you think about that?
Oh my goodness.
Buffalo, right now, is the team to beat.
That's right.
They're on the mission.
Yes.
They stole Von Miller from his hometown of Dallas. We should have had him, Brad. We should have had Von Miller. They stole him,
Oh.
and their aspirations to win the Super Bowl are in plain sight and view. I look for them not to lose the game this year. I really truly think they're going to go undefeated.
Okay. Okay. What do you think about Gallup?
They're going to go undefeated.
What do you think about Gallup is not dressing out? He's on the sideline, and then we got rid of the other fella for the Dallas Cowboys. Do you think that was a great move?
No, it was not a great move. We should have kept Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
I understand situations happen, but we still should have kept him. He's still a top 20 wide receiver. He could have helped out with PD last night, but I guess the Joneses decided that they need to part ways and go into a different direction.
And I believe that. I was looking at this the other day, Miss Hinton, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
Philadelphia won yesterday, and I was just amazed on how the Philadelphia did yesterday against San Francisco 49ers.
Yes.
I want y'all to know that, you know, I have a friend of mine, that's Mr. Roland Fuller's his brother. And he called me first thing yesterday morning, Miss Hinton, talking about the game, what the San Francisco 49ers going to do. and they was gonna beat yesterday. And I said to myself, and you can tell your brother this, hey boo, boo, that's what he called you. That's what he called you, Roland. Roland. Roland, he called you boo. Hey boo, hey boo. What is Dion's nickname? He says he done told the truth on you. He said your nickname is Boo. Hey Boo, hey Boo. I said what?
So,
so, but I want to say, look, man, it was a great game on yesterday. Tonight's game, who you think gonna win tonight?
I've got Denver Broncos. Russ Wilson going back to Seattle.
Wow.
He's gonna show out tonight. He's gonna show out. It's a real good show.
This gonna be ball game tonight.
He sure is getting paid well. He should show up off.
And
tonight.
He going out and pick. He going back and pick Seattle apart tonight.
I want to ask Roland real quick. Roland, I want to ask you real quick. What do you think about Washington, formerly known as the Redskins? How do you think you
Commanders?
Well, I know it, but I wanted to kind of just dig a little. But tell us in about 30 seconds what you think about Washington Commanders.
One word, underachievers.
Oh, you think so? How do you know they're not going to come out popping this season? Up and popping and on and popping.
Well, when you have your defensive line, all of them first round picks, and you haven't accomplished anything, you're underachieving.
Oh.
All those guys on the front four from Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, they got four elite rushers, defensive linemen.
Wow.
You can't win. Defense wins championship. And those guys have been there 2-3 years. You can't gel together. You can't win and stop anybody. I'm sorry. You're just another ordinary team from now.
What do you think about their quarterback? What do you think about their quarterback?
He's getting the third chance. He's good. 3 strikes, you're out.
Wow.
3 strikes, you're out. So he has to perform to the utmost. But not, they may be in the sweepstakes with us. Trying to draft Mr. Young out of Alabama or Mr. Stroud out of Ohio State.
All right. Roland, a force to be reckoned with. What teams?
A force to be reckoned with. Buffalo. Buffalo will, I do believe, I'm going to predict this, they will go undefeated.
Wow.
They will go undefeated. The way they played that tonight, they will go undefeated. They're on the mission. All the talk is on Buffalo, so they will be a force.
So when we go to our district, in our division, there's the Cowboys, there's the Philadelphia Eagles, there's the New York Giants, and there's the Commandos. Tell us who you think gonna win the division this year.
Philadelphia.
Oh, that's what we hear.
Philadelphia looked good. Philadelphia looked good yesterday. They let off the gas against Detroit.
Yes.
And let them come back a little bit. And then I think they kind of woke them up in the fourth quarter, and they stayed on track. They put it back on the gas. So they're going to be a force to reckon with.
Absolutely.
I told everybody this year I'm not going to put on my uniform and I'm going to lay up off the gas because I really went hard last year about them Cowboys. So I know that the Cowboys, from looking at them last night, they look trashy. So I'm just they look real trashy, and all the Cowboy fans can agree. Well, we got to get out of here.
Well, Roland, we want to say thank you. If you want to give your social media page real quick, or if you want to have a number or anything you want to shout out real quick before we go.
Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes.
They got to honor them. And shout out to the Oklahoma Sooners. I'm a big Sooners fan.
Wow.
All the way.
Thank you. Well, Roland, thank you so much for being on. You have a wonderful and blessed day.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Roland.
All right. You all come over here, social media. We got some more to talk about, sports talk, and some upcoming shows. Be blessed. We'll see you back on Wednesday.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the #1 radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Everette, the co-host, and thank you so much, Mr. Roland Fuller, one of the Dallas Cowboys roadies down the street, walk around the corner to the stadium. Thank you so much for being our special guest. Don't forget, if you like to be a special guest or you want to call and shout out your team on FYI, just give us a call at 757-714-7861. And again, thank you so much for joining us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on WGPL 1350, Peace 95.3, and WPCE 1400. And have a wonderful day. Bye now.
Wow, I tell you what, sports, it's on and it's popping,
Yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
E.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't want to be too quick to put anybody in a box. We never know what Dallas may come back and do. We just don't know yet. It's any man's game sometime. And so let's see what the teams do as the season goes on. Missy, you go ahead.
You know, Miss Hinton, I'm not putting Dallas in the box,
I didn't
but
say you were.
I just don't like to see them coming out the way that they're doing. You know, Dallas is America's number one team. And
Mhm.
because they got to hold the title, a number one team, when they come out, they got to be able to score. They got to be able to run. They got to be able to catch. They got to be able to pass. They got to play great defense. One thing I can say about our defense that Tom Brady got sacked 2 and 3 times on yesterday. That really irritated him, and he was ready to go. So defense looking well. So now we just need to put them together. We just need to put all the energy together and put it all together, and let's do what we got to do.
Yes. So I mean, I don't want to put them and nobody else in a box yet. This is the first game, and so some did well, some didn't do as well. But we're going to see as time goes
19 to 3.
Huh?
19 to 3.
Okay.
They didn't do well.
No, I didn't say they did well. I said this is the first game for everybody across the board, and we'll see how things play out. I'm saying Dallas and Pittsburgh and all those that we just named, they have another chance to do it and another chance to do it. Let's see where this goes. That is the point that I'm making.
Yeah. So I'm just putting them in the box already. I'm just gonna put the nail on the coffin because the first 5 games that we played, first 6 games, if we don't win them, we're out of the box.
Okay, absolutely. So we'll be continuing to look. Who's playing this evening?
Well, this evening, Miss Hinton, is going to be a barn burner.
Okay.
We got Denver Broncos are playing against the Seattle Seahawks. And guess what? That quarterback that used to be the Seattle Seahawks is now going back to play in his home field.
Wow.
Hello?
What do you all think about the season of football? The NFL has started, has popped off. I mean, talking about a whole bunch of games on yesterday. I mean, exciting. Some of them had high energy. Some of them had low energy. That game with Pittsburgh, the Steelers, to me was a very strong, aggressive,
great energy,
professional game. You could really, really feel, all the power that was being put into that particular game. And so that's why there were some that I enjoyed and some that I, kind of like, okay. The ones with the Bears, that's who played the Bears?
San Francisco 49ers.
I mean, what was the score?
The final score on the San Francisco 49ers, I don't have it right here on my sheet.
Okay,
but I know that the Chicago Bears, they won.
I mean, and they win at the end if they didn't slide to victory. I just wondered how they play in all that rain. But I mean, they really, really looked like they enjoyed it. They enjoyed the win. They enjoyed the game. I thought that was a fabulous ending to a great game.
You got to remember, Chicago didn't do all that good last year.
Yeah,
and to
absolutely.
start off this year with a win, wow.
That's what I'm saying. Some of them, We got to just watch it. We're hearing a lot about Philadelphia Eagles in your division, that they're going to be really
a team to reckon
yes,
with. Yeah.
absolutely. And also, let me see, what's another team that was
Kansas City looked good.
But I wanted to mention the Browns and Panthers. And I'm mentioning the Browns because my grandson follows them, and he also follows the not the Buccaneers, but who
Rams,
played the Bengals,
the Cincinnati Bengals,
the Bengals, and the was it the Steelers and the Bengals? Damn it, who is it? Hold up. He followed the Bengals.
They could, yeah. They're Cincinnati Bengals.
I was just wondering about them. Your team, you had a team that you were kind of like. Was it last year? You was kind of like keeping your eyeball on, and I'm not sure if it was the Buffalo Bill or not, but Bills. I'm not sure, but you were keeping your eyeballs on some of these teams.
I was keeping my eyeballs. Last year was the Tennessee Titans, and they lost yesterday.
But Mr. E, you didn't even give props to the Commanders.
Well, I mean, I'll say it that the Commanders, they won. They won yesterday, yes. And they beat a scrub team.
Oh,
the Jaguars is not a team.
All right.
I mean, come on now. You heard Roland say the same thing.
I know.
They're not a team.
You said it. They were Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I heard him.
See, when you play football, you got to play like the Cowboys. They didn't play football yesterday. Oh. They didn't even come out there looking good to play.
Okay.
And so when you play football, you got to play football. Don't come out there half-stepping and looking kind of crazy and, you ain't got nothing prepared. Your paperwork ain't worth 5 cents. And that's the way the Cowboys looked yesterday. Now, the Commanders, they got that Old Dominion, the guy who used to play Old Dominion quarterback.
Absolutely.
That's their quarterback. And then, they don't have no big name. They got some big namers out there, but guess what? They still ain't, they won. So I'm going to give them props.
Well, I tell you what, it's so many to look at. Mr. E, we've got to keep up with your division and what's going on in Dallas. Let's hope that Dallas come through a little bit. I mean, they don't want to go out so early because they're not a team that usually go out that early. They're a team that plays, and then all of a sudden, when they start getting up, up the ladder, it's like, boom, that's it. Hey, that's it. You had your time. But they are not a team that usually comes out and don't do nothing.
Well, see, the Cincinnati Bengals played against the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday.
Right. That's what I'm saying, yes.
And the score was 3 points. The Steelers beat them by 3.
That's what I'm saying, yes.
And so when you look at the Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals, I mean, the Bengals are a great team. Mm-hmm. They got great people on their team. But Pittsburgh came out to win. They came out the box because of the quarterback. Again, I say the quarterback had to have high energy in order for him to do what he had to do.
Yeah, so we're going to keep watch. You said tonight who plays?
Tonight, the Seattle Seahawks plays tonight against Denver Broncos.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be a great game tonight.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing the Denver Broncos beat the Seattle Seahawks. You know the Seattle Seahawks is not going to put up with that.
Well, I tell you, we're going to see tonight. We're going to check it out. You all check out the games. Look, get your popcorn and all that stuff ready. It's going to be a good season. It was a good NFL Sunday football kickoff week for all the teams. It was just absolutely fabulous. So you all keep a watch, and we're going to continue to report on sports talk.
One team we didn't mention today, that's old man Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, let's talk about it.
Aaron Rodgers, he's a chief that he came from Green Bay. Mm-hmm. And him and Brady was going to go out together last year.
Yes.
But somehow, some way, they came back in.
I'm under the impression that Tom Brady and them kind of like I think they're gonna be off and on with their, I think Tom, because Tom, to me is like, and I'm not talking about just his age. It's just something about his energy. I think that he'll do good, but I think he'll be wishy-washy as well.
I believe that too, because when I looked at him last night,
Yes.
and when he came back, see, this is what happened. And when people need to understand that Tom Brady said these things when he said he loved the game. He got the love of the game in him, and he loves the game itself. Well, he had a choice. He got family at home, and he had a choice either to go home and sit down and retire, but he just didn't want to be around his folk, his family,
Why you say he didn't want to be around his family?
He didn't want to be around it because they was not doing what he wanted them to do. They was not gelling like he thought they would gel.
I think he's gonna have to detox. I mean, there's so much in his system. He's so used to doing it. He could probably wake up and do it in his sleep.
Right.
I think he's gonna have to. I think he should take the tapes home, look at him, look at his performance. But this is the thing: even if Tom, if he does well, if he doesn't do that well, I think he's got to get that facial thing together. We shouldn't see everything that you feel in it because it makes you look weak.
That's right.
And so that's what people are going by. They say, when he doesn't do that good, he act like he's having a little baby temper tantrum.
He does. That's him.
And it's like, okay, people are kind of like tired of that.
That's him.
That's
because
tired and through.
It's just like a man. It's just like a little baby. I thought yesterday that he would pick the football up and walk off the field.
I was under the same impression.
Because
I was
they
like,
knocked him down. He don't like the dirt. He's one of those quarterbacks. He do not like to get dirt.
And what was it? Number 14. I can't think of
number
it.
11.
Number 11 was two. And you knocked him down so many times.
And he was ready to go home.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. That's what makes them weak. They look weak when you're supposed to be an adult. You're supposed to be a great big monster, a gorilla, and you sit up there whining. Don't nobody want to see that.
And that's football. That's the emotional side of football. Miss Hinton, last night when the Dallas Cowboys was playing, I decided to take my pledge and my lemon pledge and started wiping off some of my Dallas Cowboy paraphernalia.
Okay.
I started saying, okay, fine. The Dallas need to clean up. They just really need to clean up a little teeny bit. And then when I saw, and here's the thing you got to remember, I fell asleep on them. I fell asleep on the Cowboys because there was no energy whatsoever. They was dragging. And then they tried to mix Pollard and Ezekiel in the backfield together. It ain't going to work.
Mr. E, this is what I noticed. The fans for Dallas this year have somehow got an epiphany and have faced reality, and it's nothing wrong with ride or die, but I think you all are more realistic about, what you all are seeing. I think what's going to be more helpful to Dallas if fans insist, if owners insist, if managers insist that you all maybe Americans team, but you all gonna have to start playing now.
That's right. They're gonna have to start playing, just like Miss Hinton. They gonna have to start doing what they do. Because we have an image to uphold.
And where are your stars?
We don't have any.
Dak,
listen,
y'all. Where
we got
stars?
Dak, we got Zeke, we got Pollard, we got Diggs and Big Diggs, and but we got Gallup. When you look at Gallup and you look at, he's not a money maker.
That's what I'm saying.
All the money makers are not there. Dallas has to revamp that whole team.
Wow.
I don't know what Tom and what Jerry Jones was thinking by not going outside and picking folks and wanting to use what they had at home.
Yeah,
I don't understand, because they using everything that they got at home instead of using going out and get to find the best of all.
Well, Mr. E, with the Commanders having this first win, I'm going to keep my eyeball on them. I'm going to keep my eyeball on them to see what they're doing. Of course, Philadelphia Gonna keep our eyeballs on them as well. Dallas, keep our eyeballs on them. And
How about the Giants? They in
the
that division too.
Giants. What did the Giants? Did they play yet?
They
Have
won.
played?
They won
They
last
won?
night. New York Giants.
So I'll keep my eyeballs on all them, and I'll be looking at the games and learning the players and seeing who the stars are, because we all love stars and love those that, like Mr. E said, the money makers
The
and
money
things like
makers.
that. People that, the celebrity, those that are charismatic and, that can help carry the game. You want those stars. You want those celebrities because they help carry the game. You want the fans. Now, the fans, they are a very important part in this whole system as well. And so, was it a lot of folk in the stadium?
There was a lot of folks in the stadium.
Okay.
Just the TV, the TV fans on the TV was packed. I mean, the ratings were so high, and folks, excuse me, and folks were looking for the Cowboys to come out there and do what they do.
Well, I tell you what, let's keep looking, let's keep reporting, and let's keep having a good time. Mr. E, thank you. And Mr. Roland Fuller, thank you for your input. Thank you for being a wonderful, wonderful fan that's truthful. I'm just, y'all are really truthful. I can't get over it.
I mean, you got to remember,
really,
we are looking for the Cowboys. I mean,
wow.
we can't add anything because of the performance last night. It was a piss poor performance that we saw last night. It was lower than Wales, Pete. It was a performance that who would buy tickets to go see that? I was looking at the stadium last night, and the people that was there,
yes,
they was leaving out.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a big difference from last year to this year, what you all are saying. So let's see, let's just see how things play out. In the meantime, Mr. E, we have to talk about what's going on in our camp with our upcoming show.
Miss Hinton, I want our listening audience not to miss the issues concerning men on tomorrow.
Oh, on Wednesday.
Oh, on Wednesday.
Yes.
I mean, on Wednesday. I mean, please do not miss it. We got Mr. Ahmad Sean that will be a part of us. Issues concerning men. You are not the father.
Absolutely.
That's one of the hardest things that we have to really understand. We got Miss Cheryl Johnson. They're going to be with us.
Sherry Johnson is going to be on. Yes.
Miss Deborah Harrison and Mayor Kenny Alexander. I don't know why my new twin in. It must be
yes. We're going to also have a young lady that's going to come on, Nakia Talbot. She's going to be on, and she's going to talk about her story. We have a wonderful lineup, and I want you all to just continue to tune in. Now, listen, tonight, Monday night at 6 o'clock, we need you all to come to our social media pages. You can come on YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. You can come on Facebook Live, but we're going to be talking about our anti-bullying initiative, our community against bullying, a call to action now. We have a very, very special guest. We have Dr. Darrell Vance Williams that's going to be on, and he's going to talk about the anti-bullying, anti-sexual abuse, racism, all that in one nutshell, Mr. E, because it's something that in his career they go out and they try all they know how to build better relationships, resolutions, and all kind of things to get these problems under control in the school system.
That's right, Miss Hinton. I mean, we need to know. They had a segment on the news this morning about teachers and sexual abuses and things of that nature, that when you take an oath and to take a pledge to be a school teacher and the things that you have to go through, and now you get caught doing something you ain't got no business doing. Or you got some children that that they gonna be Billy Bad, but yet still you don't say anything, but recognize and let him keep on doing. Well, I call his father, I call his mother, but guess what? That doesn't spook him. You need to let him stay home sometime.
These are things that have to be addressed constantly, and we are going to make sure we address all these issues, not just now, but it's going to be an ongoing thing of making sure people are aware that all this stuff has become a problem. So tonight, Monday night, social media, you can go to Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn, and we'll be there. Miss E and myself and Dr. Daryl Vance Williams talking about our community against bullying, a call to action now. Don't forget to join us. And I will put out a reminder. It's at 6 o'clock p.m. And also, you all are going to be able to fill out the petition and registration for our anti-bullying program. Also, let's see, don't forget to, the petition. Don't forget to sign the petition.
That's right.
Don't forget to register online. Registration is already there. You don't have to wait till the night just to register. You can register right now. I'm going to put that page on Mr. E's platform as well, on our other platforms, and you can go on and register your children to be a part of our anti-bullying rally on October the 15th, 11 o'clock a.m. in Chesapeake. We're having all kind of activities, talent speakers. We're having an anti-bullying banner competition, and we're giving out some great prizes. We have giveaways. We want you to be there. We're going to have pizza in the dialogue as well, and so many wonderful, fabulous things. Don't forget. Mr. E, let's see what else.
Don't forget the ladies' pie. The holiday is right around the corner.
Yes, don't forget the ladies' pie. Make sure you go to the ladies' pie page on Facebook and like it, and put down some of the things that you like to bake. Come on, let's interact. Let's have a good time. And if you all are wanting to pre-order for your special events and special occasion, you all can do that as well. I'll be posting again all the menu items, and you all can go up there and see, and I can send you an invoice.
Don't forget that Miss Hinton and I, we do host. Yes. If you need somebody to host your event, give us a call at 757-714-7861. If you need someone to host your event, guess what? We do come out and host events. So, hey, look, we're ready. We're ready.
Absolutely. Now, you can be a special guest or sponsor on FYI Radio Show. Mr. E is going to give you that. Speaking of sponsors, Mr. E, I don't want to forget before we go. If you all want to sponsor the anti-bullying rally, let me know. Inbox me. Also, we'll have a flyer go out there, and you all can be a vendor. We only have a few vendors, but you can also sponsor, and you can participate in our giveaways. If you have a product or something that you want to give away and want to shout out at the anti-bullying rally, you can do that. Just let us know. That information will be up there for you all to participate in. So Mr. E's going to give us who he's already given us who's going to be here, but he's going to tell you how you can be a guest, intern, or sponsor with FYI Radio Show.
If you'd like to be a special guest, intern, or sponsor, all you have to do is give us a call at 757-714-7861 or inbox Miss Yolanda, Lady Hinton's Facebook page, or Edward Everett's Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page, or you can go on our website or email us at FYIRadioShowLive@gmail.com. Did I get it right that time?
Absolutely.
Hey, I did it right. I've been practicing. I've been doing my homework. Don't forget, if you want us to be a special guest, if you want to inbox, if you want to be a sponsor, give us a call at 757-714-7861. Listen, don't forget to go to the petition. Sign the petition. That's all you have to do. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. And don't forget to save the date. I'll be there along with Miss Hinton. We'll be there. Hey, look, and guess what? We'll be helping you along the way so that you can rise above.
Absolutely. Modell Lewis, you are a blessing to us. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any children, Modell, or grandchildren, or friends or neighbors that need to be at our anti-bullying rally, please, it's online. If you need some help, we're able to help you to fill it out, just your email address, and just say, yes, I'll be there. And
that's right.
How many that you are going to bring, because we're having pizza and treats, and I need to know numbers. And so please, 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 if you're coming, if you want to participate, you want to be a help to us, a blessing to the community, Modell Lewis, please, you and your friends, please help us to bring young people to our anti-bullying rally. So, Mr. E, it's been wonderful, wonderful sports talk. We're going to be back with what's under the hat, issues concerning men, and you are not the father.
Yeah.
And we'll see you back here on Wednesday. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Also, thank you so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show. The host of this great fine show is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. She's the brain, I'm the bronze. So we want to say thank you so much for tuning in. If you'd like to be a special guest, you know what to do. Just give us a call at 757-714-7861. And don't forget to join us. Oh, by the way, don't forget, you can have some of that tea. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can talk about the stuff on the street. So give us a call at 757-714-7861. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day.
We want to shout out Roland again, Roland Fuller, Brian Fuller. We shout you out as well. We thank you for tuning in to us and for your support. Be blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
2 up, 2 down,